Kita cheers ya.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do that.
Hi guys, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you there. Okay, welcome back to our channel. Thank you untuk Mr. Manish that udah datang ke sini as our CEO and founder of LSAF. Benar-benar datang ke sini cuman buat answer the most asked questions.
Quite scary, yeah? The kind of questions that Karina has prepared, so I'm a bit worried. So let me take a bit of water first, yeah? Yes.
Kita cheers ya.
Oh, cheers. Yes, let's do that.
Jadi gini, Sir, kita mau tahu gitu karena ada beberapa parents yang nanya-nanya gitu. Kita ngobrol-ngobrol santai.
Okay.
Gitu.
I try to be santai. Yeah.
Jadi mungkin kita langsung aja ya ke topiknya. Gitu.
Okay.
What is the first question?
Mr. Manish answers the most asked questions.
Iya, jadi seru ya.
I'm thinking about going away.
Seru.
Okay,
Santai aja. Santai aja.
I try.
So the first question. Why rushing for fast track program? Oke, jadi ceritanya gini ya. Jadi kan kita banyak untuk mereka yang udah grade 9 atau udah lulus dari SMP ataupun lulus SMA gitu. Ataupun mereka yang masih grade 10, 11 gitu. Mereka udah join nih program kita gitu. Apakah kan kita juga sebenarnya tagline utamanya adalah fast track program.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, apakah sebenarnya ini rushing nggak sih, Sir?
Rushing.
Iya. Is it rushing gitu? Why for fast track program?
Yeah. I understand the reason. Yeah, some parents itu they feel, why should my child itu dikejar-kejar ya cepet-cepet? You know, what's the rush gitu ya? And then I think some parents also ask that is my child ready nggak sih gitu ya? Baru selesai SMP ya tadi you mention ya. SMP terus ada yang grade 10. Ada yang pada saat masih grade 10 and 11 I see them hari Sabtu udah ikut kelas diploma. I see all of them. Kenapa? Why are we doing that? Number one, when we started this idea, I noticed that I'm thinking about the end. Pada saat mereka lulus, if they come from the grade 12 SMA, arti kan mereka umur 18 tuh ya, 18. Terus mereka 4 tahun kuliah, which will be umur berapa tuh? 21 ya, 19. 22 ya, 22. Terus udah 22, and then baru punya S1, and then dianggapnya baru fresh graduate. Terus teman-temannya juga berbarengan have a bachelor degree. So you can imagine ribuan orang all graduate dengan bachelor degree, semuanya applying jobs. Nah, pantesan aja banyak unemployment karena everyone have the same bachelor degree and then everyone doesn't have the work experience. My point was gimana cara membedakan gitu. Then I was looking at Australia, I was looking at Singapore. Kok bisa ya di Singapore, Malaysia, Australia itu pendidikan bisa lebih cepat, dalam rangka apa gitu mereka cepat-cepat gitu. So I was asking them. Nah, pas I realized that the reason they do that adalah mereka bisa fokus untuk cepat selesaikan bachelor degree-nya supaya dia bisa memiliki dua hal. Number one, dia bisa cepat-cepat selesaiin master's degree-nya, S2-nya. Itu kan bisa menjadi salah satu pembedanya. Terus kedua adalah mereka bisa contohnya di tempat kita ya, tempat kita kan umur, let's say tadi bilang SMA 1 ya?
Yes.
Grade 10 lah, grade 10, umur 16 tahun. 16 tahun, 18 setengah, udah pada selesai ya bachelorsnya ya. Ada yang 18, ada yang 19. Temen-temennya baru selesai school, and then si temennya ini udah selesai bachelors di kita. Yang udah pada working gitu. So, kenapa harus di rush kayak begitu? Supaya I have time to get this work experience. Karena whatever you say pada saat you are getting the first job, when they treat you as fresh graduate, you don't get much, you know, it's still UMR or maybe a little bit higher than UMR gitu. But if you are a working experience guy, and apalagi pengalamannya itu sudah pada saat kita belajar, itu the employer value you. You know, dia lebih kasih, oh ini dihitungnya udah 2 tahun pengalaman, you know, dihitungnya udah 3 years experience. Udah gitu di program kita kan ada professional qualification juga.
Iya.
And then udah dibarengin lagi dengan master's degree. So you imagine Karina, ada contohnya one girl ya, Cindy. She, do we have a student called Cindy? We have it.
We have.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to mention particular names here. Just came out of my mind. So Cindy, for example, I mean, let's say she finished when she's 18 years old and she already got her bachelor's. She got her work experience with us, 3 years. She got her master's degree. Yeah, so it will be Cindy, BSc, ACCA, master's degree, pengalaman kerja udah 3 tahun versus Cindy yang udah 22 years old, baru bachelor's, baru sarjana, baru fresh.
Yeah. Memang ya beda ya.
So that's the reason I said fast track is supaya you add some competitive edge lah. Bukannya I lagi rushing ya, tapi to answer the question, apakah mereka siap secara mental, you know, secara akademik, secara language. Ada times-nya yang students-nya nggak siap. I accept that. Ya, karena hari ini you are challenging me with lot of questions, so I accept. Yeah, I accept there are some students cannot absorb the fast track approach. Tapi the world is very competitive gitu. Jadi if you don't curi start and start early, ya begitu, you will be competing with a huge crowd gitu.
Okay.
You know, how to handle that adalah remember we have this class small group classes, one-on-one mentoring. Yeah, that's where we need to prepare the students in terms of like what you do, English training. You know, make sure that the English is good.
Yeah.
So there are ways to be kreatif ya. Kalau in this competitive world, kalau kita nggak prepare early, if we always say nggak siap ya pasti nggak akan siap sih. Tapi kalau the faktanya kita udah tahun ke-11 ini ya, LSIF, and so many graduates have graduated being young and experienced. So it works for some, it doesn't work for some. I accept that it's not for all. Yeah.
Good
It's hard to impress a lady. It's hard to for the lady say, oh yeah, benar 100%. There's always a challenge. Go ahead.
Oke, itu mungkin ada beberapa orang tua udah setuju mungkin ya, ada juga yang enggak. Tapi mungkin kalau ada pertanyaan lain bisa disampaikan aja, nanti bisa disampaikan lagi gitu.
Yes,
Okay? So that's the first question, Sir Manish. Ini makin sulit nih.
Makin sulit.
Iya, gitu.
Okay.
So the next questions are, why introduce new program? Jadi gini, karena kan aku juga lihat-lihat gitu, mungkin juga parents juga pada lihat gitu, kalau misalnya sudah ada the new program. Jadi kita ada, pertama itu kan kita ada yang accountancy ya, chartered accountancy. Terus kita juga sekarang ada data science and cyber security network. Terus kita juga ada digital business sama software engineering untuk yang work study program, ya kan? Sama kita juga ada hospitality nih, ya kan? Banyak nih sekarang gitu. So why are you introducing a new program?
Iya. Why? Maybe you're asking why, itu karena you feel that existing programnya kan udah bagus.
Betul.
Ya?
Jadi
terus ngapain lagi kita bikin introduce new programs ya. If you ask me personally, I wouldn't want to introduce any new programs gitu, karena secara if you ask me, I'm biased towards accountancy, chartered accountancy. Jadi I pengennya semua orang belajar finance, semua orang belajar accounting. Everybody needs to know how to baca laporan keuangan ya. It took me 10 years to understand that maybe not everybody are designed for understanding numbers. Tapi tetap aja, I still feel everybody should learn. I still feel everybody should learn something about finance and money. Karena the fact of the matter is, everyone deals with money, right? Whatever business, whatever career, you always deal with money, right? And if you don't have money skills, if you don't know how to understand what is assets, what is liability, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But I realize, and I have to accept the fact that there are new things that are happening. For example, I met an accountant who's already 10 years in the profession. Okay, and then this person is getting maybe around $5,000 to $6,000. Okay, other some of them 10 years they get $8,000. But then I realized a fresh graduate who's coming from cybersecurity, a fresh graduate in data science. Maybe this person is when they first graduate, they are already getting $4,000, $4,500. Yeah, at the starting point. Then I realized, wow. 10 years experience as an accountant, maybe around 5,000 to 8,000. But this person, freshly graduate, 4,000. Then I realized actually these people who are already 10 years, meaning if they had that skills of data science, able to create attractive dashboards, if they're able to do digital business, they're able to have all those skills. Actually, this person who are getting 5,000, 6,000 would have been able to get 10,000. So that means this person are underemployed.
Okay.
Underemployed ya. Underemployed artinya mereka harusnya potensinya belum sampai full gitu.
Yeah.
Nah, so I realize ini realitas. Kalau untuk make sure that you are maximize your potential karena dunia dengan penuh teknologi and AI, you cannot deny gitu loh. So I have to say that yes, this last year we decided to partner with a lot of universities, but still our objective masih sama, that we want to have program yang very career oriented gitu. Jadi makanya I started making programs like data science yang related to AI. We started making program like cyber security. Kita bikin mengenai digital business.
Yes.
Bahkan kalau ada yang mau lebih masuk ke teknologi, kita ada software engineering. Bahkan yang saya sama sekali nggak ada mau hubungan dengan finance, accounting, numbers. Saya benar-benar tidak mau. I really want to be, I'm a people person. I want to be just doing something that is related to people. Okay, we have hospitality, tapi again, our hospitality program also harus involve work. Jadi I don't make it any easier for them. You still have to work, right? Yeah. You still get your international degree. Karena that's what LSF is all about, gitu. Okay. So that's why we introduced this program. Bukannya mau create more programs, but it's really to accommodate people with different background and supaya semua orang punya kesempatan.
Oke, jadi intinya adalah
itu kira-kira memuas. Nggak my answer.
Intinya adalah tidak harus accounting. Cuman the basic of accounting you still need basic of the foundationnya itu tetap harus, karena balik lagi di dalam tempat kerja itu you nggak bisa hilang lah from finance, calculating is still.
Betul. Gitu. Tapi kalau belajar yang lain-lain boleh lah.
Yeah.
Karena sekarang you see some of our students sekarang jadi business partners, business advisors, ya kan? Mereka harus bikin video presentation, harus bisa ngobrol sama investor. So if they learn all these skills kan sedikit beda ya.
Betul.
We like to be little different ya.
Agak lain gitu. Okay, thank you for the answer. Yes sir. Okay, so maybe we can go to the next questions. So the third one is work and study too good to be true. Okay. Jadi dalam arti kan kita juga ada work study program gitu. Kita ada untuk yang digital business sama yang software engineering, itu kan bentuknya adalah mereka belajar tapi mereka juga sambil bekerja gitu. Bekerja sambil belajar.
Itu problemnya apa?
Ya, apakah mereka bisa benar-benar menjalankan dengan baik nih? Karena kalau misalnya secara yang aku dengar ya dari orang tua, mereka mikirnya mereka takutnya nanti pas lagi kerja nggak selesai nanti kuliahnya, ya kan? Atau misalnya pada saat nanti mengerjakan, ya udahlah nggak jalan gitu kerjanya atau bagaimana gitu. Jadi gimana nih? Is it too good to be true untuk mendapatkan work and study at the same time? gitu.
Yeah. I think the reality is emang ada some students yang pas even when they were studying finance accounting, itu pas kita lakukan penempatan kerja and hari Sabtu kita minta mereka untuk study. Honestly, there have been some students yang tidak selesai kuliahnya, kerjanya lanjut karena they already see money, terus akhirnya nggak lanjut dengan kuliahnya, terus udah selesai habis kerja 2 tahun 3 tahun baru pada balik. Dia bilang, aduh sir, saya mau selesaikan dong bachelorsnya. Ini adalah anak-anak yang punya timing sendiri gitu, you know, they have their own time of pengen ini dulu, pengen belajar dulu. Tapi ada juga yang lot of students, majority of them, I think they finish their whole qualification. Like all the students who have gone to the Big Four, the EY, they have already finished gitu. So, balik lagi to my statement that education itu cannot be, you know, it cannot be common for all gitu ya. Everyone is not like one size fit all. You know, everyone has a different potential. Everyone have a different discipline level. So bukan berarti program work study-nya yang nggak jalan. Sometimes it's just matter of testing your own discipline gitu.
Diri
so
sendiri, ya.
Secara program di Singapore udah jalan work study program. Kenapa nggak di Indonesia? You know?
So you implement this program to Indonesia. In Indonesia.
So why can't we do it? But many people say, sir, I don't think kita bakal kuat, terlalu intensif, terlalu agresif, lot of work, lot of stress gitu ya. Like I said LSF is not for everyone. It's meant for people who are serious about their success and who are desperate for success. Working. If you want to chill, then this is not the place for you.
Kejawab semua ya. Ini kejawab banget nih, gitu. We go to the 4 questions, ya kan? Global program. Saya gini. Kita kan global program. Kita kebanyakan dari international, kita ada dari UK, kita dari Australia, dari Singapura gitu ya. Tapi we get a local price. Means like harganya itu kayaknya kok di bawah rate gitu. Misalnya contoh, kalau misalnya di luar deh gitu, university lain deh gitu, kita ada global program. Dia ada global program. Harganya tuh bisa sampai 500 juta, 100 M. Maksudnya tinggi banget gitu loh. Tapi kok kita kayak maksudnya rendah gitu dalam arti gitu. Dalam arti bisa cuma 30, 50, 60 gitu.
I think our bachelors are 150 to 100 million thereabouts.
Tapi kan kayak biasanya tuh sampai 500 gitu loh. Tinggi gitu loh. Kenapa? Is it credible to get the
serba price? Pokoknya suka protes ya ibu-ibu like you. Mahal di protes, murah diprotes ya. So, protes itu harus. Jadi I think this is related to my personal ambition and personal background gitu ya, where I think everyone knows that the reason I started LSF is because of the journey that I experienced when I graduated from school, and it's from the school that gave me the those scholarship, and I couldn't afford all kind of international education like my friends did gitu. So I realized that education itu is life changing, tapi kok bisa opportunity-nya hanya kepada orang-orang yang life-nya sudah change, which is like mereka sudah kaya gitu. You know, they are already very rich, they can afford to go overseas, you know, they can afford to go wherever. And you know, when you go abroad and you go spend all your rupiah, you know, and then you invest abroad, what do you come back with? Come back with bachelors, right? You don't really have again the competitive advantage, gitu kan. So one of my ambition was that I want to make this international qualifications to be in Indonesia, but affordability is an important component for me. Because I still believe education must be affordable and must be as much as possible accessible to everyone. So it's not. So that's the reason we have kept it at a. We even have a lot of tuition grants, you know.
Okay.
So I do not want to treat this pricing component. I could charge, right? Because
Okay.
we have University of London,
Yeah.
Roehampton.
Yeah.
Sebenarnya kan bisa aja kita charge
Tinggi.
1 M,
Okay.
lebih tinggi ya. I will be more richer.
happy.
Lebih, yeah. But I think our values should remain maintained. That it should remain affordable. That's why apalagi we have those programs like digital business.
Yes.
Ya. Itu bahkan the whole program is self generating the revenue and bakal almost like a
Balik
free,
lagi.
right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it's got to do with my values. So I want to keep education affordable.
I see.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
good answer.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Okay, it's question 4.
Yeah.
Okay, last but not least,
Yeah.
this is the last, yeah. Great program. Why not a bigger camp?
Nah, ini bagus. Thank you
Yeah.
for making it difficult by every question.
Yeah,
So
gitu.
great programs. Why not make a bigger campus? So we now it's like this. Yeah, I had the option to make one big, huge campus. And Indonesia is so big. Yeah, I would be expecting students from so different cities will come to our campus. You know, but you know, if I compete in the bigness of facilities, it's impossible to win with the existing universities that are already super big. They are like malls, you know.
Okay.
You know, and also in my heart that do I want to compete with facilities or do I want to have good programs and I want to ensure that they have success stories. The
Okay.
students have success stories. Do I want to have a big campus? And you know, like when I was in college, in one class there were 150 to 200.
Wow,
Yeah.
so many.
So
It's like an
I can't remember my classmates' names. You know, we had a small group. We can't interact with the lecturer. So I said, instead of having one big campus, why not we have LSF across the whole Indonesia, but in small centers. You know,
see.
like now we have center in Bali,
Yeah.
we have in Jakarta, we have university partners. We have now 22. 22 university partners. So even if they want to study our programs in those universities, like Venus, like Atmajaya, with Trisakti School of Management, with they can do that. You know, they can go to our university partner and study our program. So I do not want to also be treating education like a factory. Everything big, not personal enough. Because I still feel education is not one size fit all. You know, kita punya lecturers, we make sure mereka kenal nama studentsnya.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
studentsnya saling kenal, and then it becomes a tempat have a network, komunitas lah. You know,
Okay.
so because when they have this small komunitas, then eventually when they graduate, you will realize that this community will continue to be there. And then mereka akhirnya maybe doing business together, maybe doing something together, you know. So the community building and the sense of learning, it required me to have this. Tadinya the best, if you ask me economically, paling bagus adalah make a bigger campus.
Okay.
You know, tapi because everything will be pulled together. But I just feel that it will not achieve our objective. We will be producing graduates, but it will like standardize across the whole campus or the
Okay,
university. You know, it's
see.
better to have each person's potential. Kita mentoring dia, kita make sure that they are, you know, everybody, we look at their strength, their weaknesses. Each class has a mentor. So I wanted to make it personalized and customized education experience rather than flexing, yeah, like how parents meet each other. Oh, anak saya di sana dengan kampus yang big hectares. Yeah, I think that's, you know, when you start working, you don't show the pictures of your university, right? What you show is what you got and what experience do you have, what work experience do you have. Apa sih pengalaman kamu?
Yes.
Pengalaman saya adalah saya berada di kantin universitas saya yang sangat luas. They will not ask you that.
Right.
Yeah, they'll ask you that pengalaman kerja kamu apa gitu.
Yeah.
What skills do you have? Yeah, so that's my answer.
But that's wonderful because
Yeah.
intinya adalah yang penting adalah the quality of the students.
Yes,
Gitu kan?
it's them.
Iya.
The story is in
Jadi
them.
tujuannya juga untuk anak-anaknya.
Yeah,
gitu.
yeah. The story is in those graduating, not in
Buat
us.
menunjukkan kita, gitu kan.
Iya. Success story-nya di mereka. So I hope I answered your question. But you can continue to make new questions,
Iya.
and then you can continue to challenge me
Yeah,
in
we
your
can
next
have a
section.
part two.
Part two, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so
Okay,
much for your
okay.
time,
Thank you
Mr.
so much,
Manish,
Sharina.
today. Mungkin kita akan adain lagi untuk
Yeah.
selanjutnya kalau misalnya ada pertanyaan lain bisa disampaikan aja. Bisa kontak juga ke kita di nomor kita nanti. Nanti bisa dibahas bareng lagi.
Okay.
Thank you so much
Bye-bye.
semuanya. Bye.